Good evening and welcome to the Graham Craig Root Show. Thank you for tuning in, guys. Tonight's show is sponsored by none other than NC Media. If you're looking for a studio for podcasting, a studio for a TV set, or even a makeup artist or a DJ, then contact NC Media. Tonight I am joined by Maria Nugent, Maggie Duncliffe and Leslie Martínez. Thank you for joining me, ladies.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Maria.
Yes.
How are you, girl?
Not too bad, thanks.
Centre stage on the most current series of First Dates Ireland.
That was a good experience. I'm really glad I did it.
Yeah.
I just thought they didn't match me with, it wasn't like happily ever after, but I think it was great fun. And
it mightn't have been a happy ever after, but I think for as a mother of three, I think you showcased yourself fantastically. I think you like as three young children watching it, I'd be immensely proud to say that's my mum.
Yeah, well, I suppose I just tried to be myself, you know, which it's a little bit difficult when you're on the cameras and it's all the recording that's going on. But I just said, no, I'm going to be me and I'm going to give this my best shot.
Like, would you do it again?
I'm not sure would I do it again, but a few people have asked me, should they do it? Was it a good experience? And I would say, definitely do it. Hell yes, it was worthwhile.
A lesbian's worst nightmare. Can you talk me through that?
I think it trended on Twitter actually on the night or that week. So I kind of walked myself into that. Yeah, I had an accident just under 2 years ago. I was visiting my friend and it's a big steel framed gate on wheels, maybe like a 10-foot gate. As I was going in the gate, I had my hand and the gate closed and I lost the top of my right index finger. And it was really painful, obviously. It was quite traumatic. So we got it on ice and we got to the hospital.
And do I know at the time you thought like it could be put back together or healed?
Yeah, I brought it on ice and everything. I was like, they have to reattach it.
Yeah.
And so then the doctor said, no, we can't reattach it. And I said, what do you mean, why? And he said, the bone was crushed, the nerve was damaged. No, it wasn't going to be able to be reattached.
But like you wanted to showcase that missing body part, and you had a little burial in the back garden.
I did. So I said to him, well, I have to bring it home with me then. Yeah. And he said, no, he was looking at me like I was mad. And he looked at my friend who was with me and he said, she wants to bring home her finger. And she just took one look at me and she knew I was going to like cry or I don't know what I was going to do. And so she said, yeah, we're bringing it home. So we buried it in a little matchbox and had a little ceremony for it and everything. It was, you know what, you can laugh or cry. It was traumatic and it totally changed kind of my life. Little things, writing, typing, everything.
I think it's such a well done show. I think I actually prefer it to the UK version.
Yeah.
I think it's so well done. Even the characters there, from the waitresses and everything to the guy that you meet on entrance, it's so well done. And
they're so friendly and they make you feel really comfortable.
Like I'm an ultimate foodie. Like the food looks amazing.
Food was amazing. The saddest thing is you're only allowed to pick 2 courses.
Yeah.
So you have to decide, are you going for starter and main or a main and a dessert? I love my food, like I wanted to try.
Were you happy with your choices?
Yeah, it was really good, but I can hardly remember now what I ordered. I think I was so nervous.
So like you've 3 young children.
Yeah.
So you were living a life that probably wasn't true to yourself, and now you're living the truest version of yourself.
Absolutely. I mean, look, I was a young mum growing up in Tipperary, and I got on with my life, and I raised 3 amazing kids. I love them to bits, and my oldest 2 now are very grown up, and we're like best friends, and certainly no regrets, but I suppose I had to be true to myself and live my life as well.
You're cool, Mom.
And I think so. I don't know if they could argue with you on that. They look at me still like I'm a bit of a loser, but I'm like, I'm cool.
I know one organisation in Cork that's very close to your own heart is Linc.
That's right. Yeah.
And how did you become a part of that?
I suppose initially I think I saw Linc advertised, like they were advertising a job or something, and so I ventured in there, one of their Christmas parties or one of their gatherings, and I suppose I got talking to other people, and I realised for the first time that there was other women out there who had been married, who had children, and then came out a little bit later in life. So for me, it was an amazing experience. I suddenly didn't feel as alone. In Tipperary, it can be quite isolating.
Coming from Tipperary as well, like rural Ireland, it's very backwards. Like there's an hour and a half in the journey from Tipperary to Cork, but it's a total different walk of life.
It's a different world. Yeah, it really is.
And life is short as well. I think we shouldn't put our life on hold. I think if you want to be the truest version of yourself, be who you are. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with being who you are. You're not harming anyone, and so it's all about being happy.
That's it. I had to be true to myself.
Yeah.
And I mean, I no regrets. I love my life. I love the way it's going. So,
and like I say, one big part of Linc, I know, is the drama club that you absolutely love. And you put on a show recently.
We did. It took me out of my comfort zone because I love writing and stuff. So a few of my friends have been trying to get me to join Linc Drama for a year or 2 beforehand. And I was putting it off all the time. No, I'll think about it. And then about a year and a half ago, I joined. And to write, but sure, suddenly I had a really big part, and yeah, totally out of my comfort zone. It was the best fun I ever
And
had.
bearing in mind how much success the show had, there's definitely going to be future shows now ahead.
That's right, there were sellout shows, and we're at the moment, we're writing our next piece for sort of the autumn. So
lovely.
We'll have another show on
Something
stage.
to look forward
I've got the bug now, and amazing group of women, you know, and they are my family. I mean, I don't have much family in Cork, and I think a lot of us are the same, and you know, I have an amazing group of friends. They're my tribe. Like, I feel like we're going to be friends for life.
Let's take it to a total different notch, the football world, because like it's a very male-dominated world, Maggie. But Cork, especially yourself, you're taking the lead and you're showing the boys how it's done. It goes back to 2017 when you won Player of the Year. Like, you're owning it, girl.
2017 was a big year. We made it to the FA Cup final in Viva as well, and we beat UCD 1-0. So it was a big win for the club, and it really set the bar for us, and it got us up, and now we're in with the men's, under the men's as well, so it's great.
I see your mum there, like, you're in the papers, and like you're like scoring goals. Like, it's midfield you play?
Holding midfielder, yeah. Just keep thriving and achieving what I can every year, like, and she's something else then on social media, like everything shared.
I think it's coming from like a good practice, because like she's so proud, like, it's like to get the write-ups in the paper, and like clubs, like you're sought after in the clubs. Like, you celebrated 100 appearances recently.
Last week against DLR up in Dublin, yeah, and I captained the side in the day, so that was even more enjoyable. And to win 3 goals away from home and get 3 points on the board was a big achievement.
So there's lots of travel with it as well.
It is. It's a lot of commitment. We train 3 nights a week on the pitch. Then you have to do gym sessions on top of that, and then you're playing a game every weekend. So there's a lot involved.
Definitely, something like football was like never something I got into. Like, you know, I was more interested in Barbie dolls growing up. But like, say, and like, do you find, is there any mixed matches, or do you just play purely, say, women's football?
Women's football, but I have started playing 7-a-side on Mondays with the management, the boys and men, like, and it's great. Like, it's physical and it gets you well prepared for the week in training then with the girls, like, so it's a bit of mix and match.
When you win an award like Player of the Year, what do you do next?
You just keep on building and just to achieve more and more. It's unbelievable, especially when it's your team that voted your team of the year. It really boosts me, like, and it pushed me on more and more every year. You're
loved by your entire team, so usually someone who achieves a success, like, you wouldn't kind of get that love from, like, especially if you see the Premier League. Like, I wouldn't say everyone's a massive fan. I'd say, like, say some of the players that are excelling, because there's a bit of greed in the industry, but like, you're excelling, but you're loved by your team. So you're doing something unique there. It's a young team, and being one of the senior players on the team, like, you take the younger ones under your wing, like, and you show them and you make them feel comfortable. And it's like a family. It's not a team, it's a family, like, and we're all so close. There's no bitterness. It's just... The more years you're doing it, is mentoring something you'd like to get into? I would like to manage it when I finish playing. So it is something that will always stay with me. So how are you in, say, the position in the league? I think we're 4th on the table. What about yourself, Maria? Was football ever something you got into? No, I was never very sporty. I played roller derby for a couple of years. That was amazing. That's as sporty as I got. Leslie Martínez. Kind of there. Yeah. You have to roll in more than you need to roll the tongue more. Rolling there. So if you mention a Latino night, you're there. Oh, for sure. Dancing so stereotypical, but yeah. You're dancing off the floor in Tequila Jacks? I do, yeah. I do. It's the way that we you socialize back home. Like, you just, since you are a child, you need to know how to dance. Your aunties, your uncles, just everybody's dancing. And say journalism and comedy, they couldn't be 2 worlds different apart, but like, you're excelling in both. Kind of. It's very handy because of, my degree as a journalist, but it was very handy at the moment to write my material, because, you know, I know the structure, so it is very handy when you are a journalist and you know how to organize your set and everything. So I think with the main act, like if you're ever doing a performance or anything, I think a comedian is most exposed, because you have to try to get an audience on board. It is horrible. I always say that, for example, if you are doing drama and nobody cry, it's not a big deal. But if you are doing comedy and nobody laughed, it's a big deal. So your style of comedy, what would you describe it as? I describe it like observation. I basically, like, I talk about my experience, how it is to be a Latina or a foreign people in this country, in Ireland, basically in Ireland, because it's my first experience living abroad. So I just bring my own culture and my own perception about things, and I compare with the Ireland culture. Some people that are not from here can relate it, and so Irish people can see how
we see them, you know, through my eyes, like my Latino eyes.
Cork is home for you now, even
Yeah,
you're
it
here
is.
5 years?
5 years. 5 years. I feel Cork is my home. Definitely. I love Cork.
And
yeah.
you've done some great gigs recently in the comedy club.
Yes. I've been doing a comedy in total since 2012.
And say, Maria, I know one thing we chatted before we come on set this evening, one thing that really touched our heart in the last couple of weeks was the shooting of Lyra McKee. Like she'd done immense work for the LGBT community. She was a huge LGBT advocate. I know that's something that touched you deeply.
Absolutely, and I suppose, like even we were saying, you know, Belfast still don't have marriage equality or anything yet, and it was so sad to see somebody so young, you know, and so tragic. But I suppose, we have to kind of support Northern Ireland and hope that they get the same rights that we have.
A little birdie tells me, in the Duncliffe household, they go by the motto and mentality that it's cheaper by the dozen.
Cheaper by a dozen, plus 2.
So how many brothers and sisters?
There's 14 of us, so there's 8 boys and 6 girls.
Alright, what's it like? It's like feeding time at the zoo, so at dinner time?
Oh, I'd say you'd have to do it in packs, like you can't feed them all at once. You'd be robbing off your plate and all.
I say middle of the pack?
4th youngest.
Say like Cork is massive home place for yourself. Say football wise, mentoring is something you'd like to do as well, but is there anything else? Like player of the year, you can't really top much that as well, but the love of your colleagues has been something that's really proud and something that's gripped you immensely.
It is, it's your teammates, like they're there for you week in, week out, and they push you on. Same as any team, I'd hope, like, so it's...
You always applaud the team, and that's very seldom something you'd hear from a midfielder, is like to try to get the ball in position and it's all about getting the goal or something, but you know you're 100% reliant on your team.
There's no I in team, like, so it's all about team effort.
And say, like, what could we set up on a 4-a-side here or 5? Do you think you could take us on and mentor us under your wing?
I can do something with you anyway.
Yeah. I would be used to chasing balls around. Well, so Leslie, the comedy club, you're taking comedy by storm, you're going down a hit in Cork.
Yeah.
What else? What other route would you like to take it?
You know, so far I'm doing my observation comedy, and I'm doing that.
So Maria, first dates, tick. You're a yummy mummy, so I'm thinking Love Island.
Love Island, oh no, thank you. I think that's it now. I've had my TV debut, and sometimes, I get recognised on the street by youngsters.
How do you find that? Because like when you do a show like that, you are exposed to the nation.
I take it in good spirits, really. My friends think it's hilarious. I get enough of roasting off of them, actually.
Well, I suppose you had the story as well, like every lesbian's worst nightmare.
I know, I'm never going to live that down, you know. And
you're famous in the lesbian world.
And we had a viewing, and I thought we were going to have a quiet little drink in the local pub, and they had a big viewing inside in Chambers, and they had my face blown up on these big posters all around the wall, and hashtag Fingergate and hashtag every lesbian's worst nightmare.
So ladies, summer is fast upon us. I know you're going to take the trip up to Games of Thrones to see the set.
I'm going to do that.
Yeah, and Leslie, any trips
So
planned?
jealous though. Not so far. I'm going to be quiet.
Like, are you staying up late to watch them?
Yeah, I'm updated. Yeah. I watched the last one.
Exactly, so you're great.
So far, nothing, nothing extraordinary. Just, I think we're going to get there into the next episode.
Right, ladies, thank you so much for joining me. Had an absolute blast.
Thank you.
Maggie
you
Duncliffe, Maria Nugent, Leslie Martínez.
Yeah, kind of nearly there.
Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. Tonight's show is sponsored none other than NC Media. Catch you when we go live again next Tuesday. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. Thank you.